Surprise, bitches! I'm back. Should I invent a new meme? Maybe. Oh well, for today's video I'm going to explain you some basics about Enki's Forbidden Vortex dungeon. Of course, this video is only for those who doesn't want to use nuking strategy, of course. By the way, this is for today's video, since Forbidden Vortex was not available during the record. I will only give you a showcase of EU's Valentine's Day dungeon, of course. Yeah. By the way, I'm going to explain you exactly what you must know about Enki. So, in the Forbidden Vortex of Enki, you have 3 rules which you must absolutely respect or obey. Yeah. So, the first rule is max number of BB/SBB UBB castable equal to 1/3 of current unit. What? What is the meaning of this? Mishi? Oh well, it's simple actually. If you have 6 units, you can do maximum 2 BB/SBB UBB. And if you have, for example, 4, you can only use 1. Simple, no? So, because as you can see after I wrote the third note, it says paralyzed and death are considered fallen. Yeah, because if you don't respect rule number 1, he will say only 2 were forgiven but not more. That means that, yeah, that means you didn't respect rule number 1. And he will do nuking AoE, but it's still survivable. Anyway, yeah. So since Enki does paralyze hacks, I recommend you to bring, of course, an Antidebuffer, because in case 3 and 4 he will always do paralyze hacks. Anyway, so number 2, max number of SBB. It's not BB/SBB UBB. It's my mistake here. I wrote it a bit. I was daydreaming. Anyway, max number of SBB equal to 2/3 of current units. Yeah. So that means if you have 6 units alive, 5 or 6 units alive, you must keep at least. You can have maximum of 4 SBBs, because if you have 5 or 6, you will break the rules. Because that was stated in the rule number 2 of Arena of Obedience. Yeah. So if you have, for example, 4 units, you can have only 3 or 2 max units with you can have only a maximum of 2 SBBs. And if you have 1 or 2, of course if 1, you cannot have full SBB, or you will break the rules. And if you have 2 units, you can have maximum 1 of them, and other things, nothing. Oh well. Number 3, you must be in a certain HP threshold per turn. What is the meaning of this? It means that I will tell you that there are 4 cases anyway, but depending on the cases, I will tell you that the first 2 cases are the fast ones, I would say, because, for example, because you must deal every turn at least 10% HP range. To explain it better, turn 1 you must, for example, be in the 90-100%. Turn 2 you must be in the 80-90%. Turn 3 70-80, etc., etc. Of course, trying to follow the rules. So that's why the important thing to do in this dungeon is be patient, and especially to learn how to calibrate damage. Yeah, I myself have problems on calibrating damage, and especially managing buffs, especially for the first three cases that I will mention shortly. So, not respecting rule 3 will do AoE nuking and leader skill lock for 3 turns and not perma, because of course the leader skill lock won't last longer. like the Val was third phase 1. And yeah, not respecting 1 and 2 depend on the case, but 1 is usually nuking AoE, and 2 it depends on the cases, because sometimes rule number 2, breaking rule number 2, we do either curse hacks or other things like dot, defense and recovery down, debuff, and etc. So there are 4 cases, of course, which the first 2 ones that I will mention are the you must pass an HP threshold to another in 1 turn. The first case is I don't have time for your interferences. The second case is no easy win with me. So these 2 cases are fast cases, I would define. And the other 2 cases, which is the slow ones, which you need to stay 2 turns in the same HP threshold. For example, if you are at for turn 1 and 2, you must keep 90 to 100% range, and etc. etc. Yeah. And the other 2 cases are let's take some time to talk things through, and where is she, what did you do to her. Of all, I will of course do a video of each separate cases with all their skill sets, because all of them have different mechanics. Of all the 4 cases, the three rules are already discovered by other players. But the last one, which is the Nima phrase, which is the last one I mentioned, is still undiscovered, because you will break the rules in certain threshold if you didn't respect something. Because yeah, I would tell you that in all 4 cases, rule number 2 is always applied. For Nimha cases, 1 and 3 are different one. Yeah. Because you can also not respect 3 and 1, but you can still not break the rules. So that's why I will talk it in a separate video, which I will analyze each cases. So about his skill set, well, he has only of course one. He will have only one fixed skill set, which is Champion of Arena, which is an AoE that does damage, of course, and depending on the cases, it will also buff wipes. It happens every 2 turns, but won't happen every 6 turns, since it will collide with the third turn skill set. Yeah, depending on the case, there is also a different third turn skill set. Anyway, for case 1 and 2, I mentioned Champion of Arena doesn't buff wipes, so it is the fast ones. Too long did read, yeah. And for the other 2 cases, of course, it buff wipes. Anyway, Champion of Arena will happen each time you have each time his HP drops at 20%, and yeah, depending on the case, you will also do some nasty thresholds, like completely BB drain, mitigation, what else, heal hacks, etc. Oh well, I will mention them one by one. So that's all for this video. I hope you like it. You can leave a like or leave a comment in the comment section down below. If you don't understand the rules, you can also ask me. And yeah, bye guys.